I'm Matt Bishar with Nareit here in Hollywood, Florida for Nareit's REITwise, the 2018 Law, Accounting, and Finance Conference. Joining me today is Ray Beeman, Principal, Washington Council Ernst Young. Ray, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Matt.
Now, tax reform dominated much of the news over the past year, and here at REITwise, you participated on a panel focused on the impacts of that legislation. From a REIT standpoint, what do you think will be the biggest impact?
Matt, the bill actually didn't change the REIT rules directly in any meaningful way. It was really all the other changes around more environmental and how it affected REIT's position in the sector and just generally with the various tax rates coming down. So I think most immediately REITs will be doing what every other taxpayer is doing, just trying to figure out how to implement this massive bill and wait for more clarity and guidance from Treasury and the IRS. And then, over the longer term, I think there'll be some deeper questions around what kinds of structures need to be rethought, sort of the change management side of this whole process. That could span years. That's how significant this bill is. But I think in the short term, people are just sort of scrambling to interpret a lot of the provisions that were in the bill.
Now, do you expect the tax reform bill to increase investment in the U.S. in a material way?
It's hard to say how it wouldn't. If nothing else, the fact that they enacted a tax cut of $1.5 trillion, however that looks like, is going to have an impact. I think people have different reasons why they think the bill will increase investment. Some people believe the expensing provisions will, other people believe the international changes will, yet others believe the rate reductions will. And it's probably some combination of that. And I think what's interesting in the REIT sector is you're looking at both the impact on the REIT directly, but also on the tenants and how does this bill affect the tenants. And so it'll be a very complicated picture in terms of what the investment outlook looks like.
And lastly, do you expect there will be any more federal tax provisions that will be enacted this year?
Well, interestingly, by the time this posts, we expect Congress to have finally passed the fiscal year 18 omnibus budget bill, which apparently includes a significant tax package. Now, it's not real substantive changes. There's a lot of technical correction type provisions in there. Interestingly, none of which affect the most recently passed tax bill. These are technical corrections that were already out there before this tax bill ever came into being, going all the way back to 2004. I think some of those are of interest to REITs as well. And I think really the headline tax provisions in the bill ended up being the fix to the so-called Section 199 Cap A grain glitch, which of course doesn't affect REITs directly, but also changes to the low-income housing tax credit to enhance the value, given that the corporate rate reduction to go from 35 to 21 diminished the value of the tax credit. So we ended up seeing a fair amount of tax legislation in this budget bill. This is really the last train out of the station this year of tax or any other thing that Congress may be working on. So we don't expect any more legislative activity this year. It'll all be, I think, focused on the regulatory side.
Ray, thank you so much for joining us. For more from REITwise, be sure to visit Nareit's website, reit.com.